Certainly a busy day for you over in the Weather Center tracking what's going on in the tropics.
Right, a busy day. It's been a busy 4 or 5 months too. It really got a kickstart during August, obviously, and then September was tough, and then we had a couple of a few days with no hurricanes, no storms, and now we got one and it's back. Right. So we'll take a look at that and let you know what that's doing as well. But for us, we're going to see some showers and storms around like we saw today. The rainfall not associated with tropical depression number 16. This is associated with the north end of a tropical wave, which is now a trough of low pressure, which is located over the Bahamas and through the Straits of Florida. A beautiful sunset tonight with the clouds around, and that was captured by some of our locals here, local photographers who send photos in to pics@mysuncoast.com. Fred Seeger always sending a photo in from Casey Key. Nice shot right there. And then we had another one from Norm. I missed it, Norm. Sorry about that. Apologize. I'll get that tomorrow. We have some showers around to the east of us now and down to the south. That activity associated with that trough of low pressure, as I mentioned, that trough is going to move off to the west. If it sticks around a little longer, it's going to not allow a high pressure ridge to build over the Bahamas and east of the state, which in turn would mean a weaker high, which means the storm would get closer to Florida. So we're hoping that this moves quickly tomorrow off to the west and then does not influence the building of that high pressure ridge over the Bahamas. Now for us, a passing shower not out of the question this evening, so wouldn't be surprised to hear some shower activity moving overhead. It will be isolated at best, but will increase a little bit more so throughout the midday and into the evening on in through Thursday. As a result of this getting closer to us, it looks rather tropical, doesn't it, with the banding features and kind of spinning down into an area of low pressure. The problem is there's no low there. There's no centralized area of low pressure, and the Hurricane Center isn't giving him much of a chance. 75 right now. The dew point is at 70, which is comfortable. The winds have calmed down just a little bit, but will be breezy again tomorrow. 88 the high today, 1 degree above average of 87, and just 2/100ths of an inch of rainfall. But for the year, we're well above average, over 15 inches. Well, we're above average, too, in terms of the number of intense hurricanes that have developed this year, and this one doesn't appear it's going to be that intense. There's a possibility it could be a Category 1, and there's a possibility it may never get to that status. But right now, the Hurricane Center is suggesting that the forecast model in terms of intensity is very difficult with this storm because it may move over the Nicaraguan coast as well as Honduras and kind of disrupt its flow, and then it will emerge into the northwestern Caribbean where conditions are favorable for development, and then it could even move over the Yucatan Peninsula, which would inhibit it from developing. But it's fairly certain that we will see a tropical storm or a hurricane make landfall in the United States from either Texas all the way over to the Florida Panhandle. The European model, I must tell you, is this one right about here. You don't see it, but it's right about here. So the majority of the models are actually west of the European model, which seldom happens. So we'll see how it plays out. If the storm does move further west, then the GFS will have won this battle in terms of getting it right, and we're hoping they do get it right for us. And the GFS is a much weaker storm, too, as it moves off toward Louisiana. Well, there's the forecast path and track. I told you that earlier. It'll be several hundred miles west of us if indeed it follows this center line. If it gets close to us again near the European, it could cause some problems here in terms of some possible tropical storm force winds or just basically heavy rainfall, some coastal erosion, high surf, and even a small storm surge of 1 to 3 feet. That's what it looks like now, but that's all subject to change depending upon what it does. This is the GFS model, and notice the tight gradient here would be a number of different circles, if you will, or isobars, but this one doesn't show that. So the GFS looks pretty good. A weak system moving in toward Louisiana. This is the European, same kind of timing, maybe a little later, but notice the isobars are tightly packed, indicating a stronger storm and closer to Florida at this point. So we'll see how it plans out for us tomorrow and whether that European model is right. We're hoping it's not, but it has been very successful throughout this hurricane season. 40s over the northern plains and northern Rockies. For boaters tomorrow, it doesn't look the best. Northeast winds at 20 to 25 knots, and seas will be again way up there. Tides upcoming, 2:31 for a high tide, and low tide will be at 7:23. The forecast, partly cloudy, scattered showers and breezy overnight. The extended forecast calling for a good chance for rain. We'll watch the tropics closely over the weekend.